Hello, today I'm doing another video. I wanted to film a video about bone marrow donors and my whole experience with it. I didn't need a donor in the end, but at one point they did say I needed a bone marrow transplant, which obviously then I would need a donor for. My whole experience, so to start with, they tested my sister because the sibling donors are usually the best match to have if you do need a transplant. My sister wasn't a match. They went to the donor registry list then. Unfortunately, to start with, for me, there wasn't anybody on the list that matched my tissue type, so that's why I didn't end up having the bone marrow transplant in the end. But it's okay because so far everything's going well for me, so that's good. So for people who don't know, I needed a bone marrow transplant originally because I was diagnosed with aplastic anemia, so my bone marrow was failing. Then obviously I didn't have the donor, so I didn't have the transplant. It's still out there just now. They're still talking about it just in case I relapse from the treatment that I've had. So I may need a transplant in the future, but hopefully it won't come to that, and hopefully I won't need one. A month or two back now, the doctor in the hospital where I go to have my bloods taken every week, she told me some good news, and she did say that they did find me a donor match, well, one match in the whole of the world. And that's all I know about this donor is that it's a male and he's somewhere international, so I don't know where. Which is great news. So if I do need a transplant somewhere in the future or near future, then at least I know I have got a donor to fall back on, which is brilliant. So so I'm feeling really happy about that, but I'm feeling more happy for the fact that I'm feeling well now, so hopefully I'm not going to need a transplant at all. So about 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago now, I filmed with ITV Wales regarding this whole finding a donor and trying to prompt people to join the donor register page, which broadcasted, and it had really good response apparently. So I filmed with them. I've got a clip of of when it was being filmed. I filmed a little clip myself, so I'll add that in now so you can see the whole process of what they were filming. Also, I've got a video on the page of a raffle that me and my cousin did for the Anthony Nolan. We were raising money for Anthony Nolan because they needed more funding to accept more people onto the donor register page. So now we've raised some money, so hopefully we can get more people added and more swabs sent out so more people can get tested and hopefully be a match for somebody else out there. Just to add in here, if you do want to be if you want to be added onto a register, you can join either Anthony Nolan, which is 16 to 30 year olds, but if obviously you're above that age but still would like to be a bone marrow or stem cell donor, then you can go to on a website called DKMS, and they accept 18 to 55 year olds. There's a good chance out there for people then, and I believe I'm not sure about Anthony Nolan, but DKMS also have a US site, so it's there's a wider range of wider variety then. Yeah, so we did the raffle. We've raised quite a bit of money for that. I think we're on £4,000, something like that at the moment, so that's really good. I'll link the video in the description box so people can see what we did for that, because it shows the process we went through, the donations, and then the raffle. The raffle itself then. The day after the ITV News broadcast went live. So on there was myself, Anthony Nolan, somebody from Anthony Nolan Charity, and somebody from the Welsh Blood Service were on there discussing the whole importance of joining the donor register and things like that. So the next day I had a message from somebody from ITV. So they said that the blood donor appointment bookings roughly doubled on their average figures that evening that the news went live. Also, visits to the bone marrow donor register page went up 300% after that news broadcast went live. So it's really good. So it's had a really good response, and hopefully more people are now aware that you can join the register, and it's so easy to do. That's all you need to do is register online. They'll send you out a swab kit. You do a little swab, send it off, and then you're on the register then. So if you match with somebody, they will get in touch with you, and obviously then you go have your bloods taken to make sure that you are a complete match with them. There's a bit more of a process, but I'm going to do another video explaining the whole process later on after this one. I got a little video as well that I filmed. When I was in Cardiff Hospital, the consultant haematologist up there showed me a diagram, because I asked him how do they match, how do they find a match, like is it supposed to be 100% match or what? I didn't quite understand. So he drew me a diagram which I will show you, explaining it's not, they don't look for percentages, but they look for like a 10 out of a 10 match, or a 12 out of 12 match, or I think it was 8 out of 8. But I'll show the whole thing now and I'll explain it while I got the paper in front of me, because it was really interesting to know, because I didn't know any of that before, because it was all a bit alien to me. I didn't know how they determined if somebody was a match to or not. So I'll pop that in now as well. I hope you can see this clearly. This is the piece of paper that the consultant wrote on. It's a piece of paper, it's actually like a tissue, but it's the only thing he had about at the time. This is how they determine, he said, how they determine a donor match for a person. So he said that a full match could be 12 out of 12, I'll explain these now, 10 out of 10 match, or an 8 out of 8 match. So these boxes then, right, come down to here. So each of these are, I suppose, in your blood, I think. Just to add in as well, they determine how a donor and patients are matched by the HLA, so the human leukocyte antigen that's in the, I think it's in the blood maybe? So it's more complex than matching blood types. So HLA is a protein or marker found on most cells in your body. So the immune system uses HLA markers to know which cells belong in your body and which do not. So there are many HLA markers that makes a person's tissue type unique. But matching them together is what's critical to a successful transplant. Hence why at the start they couldn't find me a donor because of my tissue type was rare. So they look at every one of these letters. So this is the red box, okay? So see these red boxes? This is the red box, this is the black box. And then that's how they add them up. So the red and the black. So a 12 out of 12 match is a complete full match, okay? So that means that they have all of these matching and also all of these matching. So the whole thing matches with the patient. 10 out of 10 match then is the whole of the red box, which is all of these, also half of the black. So cut out that, this is the 10 out of 10 match. You then have the last one, which is an 8 out of 8 match. So it's the red box, but no black. So it's just the red box. So they can do that. It's not as, I don't know, reliable maybe as the full match. But obviously if you haven't got a full match and it's only the 8 out of 8 you can get, then they will try that. For me, my match was a 10 out of 10. So it was a full red and half a black. That's what they told me anyway. So if you haven't got any of these, and as a last resort then, you go over to these. So you can also have a mismatch match, right? So it's the red box, but only one missing. So say now this one's gone. So you have 7. or 7 out of the 8. But you're only allowed to miss 1. If there's more than 1, then you're at a higher risk then of things going wrong, I think. So they go to that if you haven't got any of these and you really need the donor. And if that isn't an option either, then they go for a haploidentical, is it? Haploidentical? Well, this anyway, which is a blue box. So this is only one. This is a one parental string, so a haplotype, but they have to be the same as you. So it can be typically a family member, so a parent, sibling, or an offspring if you have any. Well, my sibling didn't match, and obviously I don't have an offspring. So they would then look at my parents. So what that means is that they half the whole thing. So they get rid of the top half, but you need to have a full match of the red and the black. So it's like a complete half. So that is how they determine if someone's a donor match to you or not. I hope this makes sense. I tried explaining it as well as I could. So yeah, that is how they do it. So yeah, so that's the whole thing. So I'm very happy now that we have got the donor out there. I'm feeling well enough now that on the immunosuppressant, so hopefully I won't need it. So yeah, and I hope you find all this really interesting. And that's it for this video. I think this one's going to be quite a short one, but like I said, I'm thinking of doing another video explaining the whole process of the bone marrow transplants and what to expect if you are going to be a donor or if you're going to have the transplant. I'll try. I didn't have it myself, and I hopefully won't be having it, but I'll try and explain as well as I can in another video. Hopefully this video has made sense to you, and I will get going with the next one pretty soon. Right, so I'm terrible at finishing videos, but just adding in here, thank you for watching and supporting the videos. I will be doing more, so just keep on watching and more will be coming. Thank you.